Hello Turtle fans, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem is now available to watch all over the world, and I am ready to share some spoilers. So let's talk about it. Again, this is a spoiler review. If you have not seen the movie, do not watch this review. With that said, let's get into the review. As I said in my non-spoiler review, I do like this movie. It's definitely in the top 5 best Turtle films for me. There's only 10 Ninja Turtle movies, and it's definitely on the good half. But with that said, it has several problems as a longtime Turtle fan. Some of these problems just stick out like a sore thumb for me. For instance, the origin. Yes, I do like Splinter's prejudice towards humans because the way they treated him. Because, you know, I'm a human, you be humans. We don't like rats very much. Unless they're the mascot of a theme park, we don't really like rodents all that much. So it makes sense why Splinter doesn't want his boys to be hanging out with the humans because of the way they would get treated. But they did not include Hamato Yoshi, Tang Shen, and Roko Saki, and those characters are very important to the Ninja Turtle origins because without those characters, it's like not including Bruce Wayne's parents in a Batman movie or Uncle Ben in a Spider-Man movie. Those characters have to be introduced, have to meet tragedy so that our heroes can become better characters, I feel like. If you're not familiar with the origin, let me explain. There's these characters, Hamato Yoshi and Hiroko Saki. They are pretty much brothers. They live together, play together, train together, and they even fell in love with the same woman, Tang Shen. But Tang Shen only loved Hamato Yoshi. And Saki, in a jealous rage, he plans to assassinate both his brother and his lover. Now, this where some of the origins kind of differ because while both Hamato Yoshi and Tang Shen do travel to New York, in some versions they adopt a pet rat and call it Splinter, or in another version, Hamato Yoshi is mutated into a rat and he dons the name Splinter. But either way, Tang Shen still dies on the hands of Hiroko Saki, who becomes the Shredder, and Hamato Yoshi is either dead or becomes Splinter and trains the mutated Ninja Turtles. And that's a better way to explain how the Turtles learned martial arts from Hamato Yoshi. He was a human who learned it in Japan and got mutated and taught it to them, or Splinter mimicked his master's moves in his cage. A rat mimicking martial arts moves from his owner is more believable than a couple of kids learning it by watching movies or reading books. Which was the origin of Mutant Mayhem, where they watched movies and they think they know martial arts. I'll give it to you, yes, teenagers do watch a lot of martial arts movies and they think they can do the moves that they see on TV, but they also take karate, you know? When I was younger, I took karate. I know several teenagers who are currently taking karate. Like, before his death, Jason David Frank, the original Green Ranger, he was the sensei of a dojo training youths how to martial arts. He was training teenagers, not showing them videos, actually hands-on training, you know? Like, that just kind of bothers me, like, yes, teenagers do this, but they also do this. You know what I'm saying? And if you're gonna choose one or the other, how about choose the more realistic one? Now, I do like that they cast real teenagers to play the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, because every version, cartoon, movie, video game, whatever you have, it's always people in their late 20s, early 30s, and up pretending to be teenagers. And we all know that's not that realistic. Sometimes it can come off as a little bit of a cringe. But this one, it kind of works because they managed to use teenage slang in 2023 very naturally, like Riz or sus. Like, and with them being teenagers, I expect them to use teenage slang. Like, when you watch the 80s and 90s Turtles, you expect them to use 80s and 90s slang. So if you're watching a Turtles movie in 2023, of course you're going to use 2023 slang. I don't know why some people have a problem with that. It's just kind of It goes without saying. Like, that's just something you expect by now. Yo, Leo is a fucking simp. Like, 2023 is the year of the Sims. First we had Bowser in Super Mario, Ken and Barbie, now Leo in Ninja Turtles. He's just simping over April. And I know a lot of people had a problem with her design. She's a little bit plus size, which I kind of respect, because being a plus size person, you don't see a lot of plus size characters in movies, let alone having someone simp over them. So kudos to Leo for believing that beauty isn't just skin deep, you know? So I guess I should respect that. But she's way better than Splinter's eye candy? I don't know. Splinter and Scumbug, man. I did not see that coming. Oh my goodness. And I'm used to Scumbug being a villain in the 80s series. Now they're just kind of a random mutant that doesn't really talk. And I think they're female in the movie. I think April referred to Scumbug as the lady, as the cockroach lady. So, okay, a rat and a cockroach going at it. Cool, cool, cool. And that's kind of the first time we see a love interest with just Splinter. Usually the only love interest Splinter's ever had is Tang Shen, but that's only because he used to be Hamato Yoshi, her husband. So, but we never had a love interest for just Splinter the rat. So I guess that's new. I'll give you that. That's something different. It's gonna be so hard to hear the word milk or milking the same way again. Oh, that was a running joke that got me. That made me laugh, and it finally happened. Like, oh my god, they're actually doing it. and I am 90 to 99% positive that Cynthia Utrom is going to be Krang. This is going to be a version of Krang. It wouldn't be the first time we saw a Krang pretend to be a woman. You know, you ever seen the 2012 series with Irma? Yeah. So, if she reveals to be Krang, I think that would be fairly obvious, because pretty much everyone else has figured that out by now. the mutants, man. Now, these are some iconic characters in Ninja Turtles lore, and they did nothing. They barely did anything. They barely said a word. And I know it was like a big deal of them casting A-list actors like Paul Rudd, John Cena, and so forth. And everyone's like, no, why did you cast A-list actors? You should cast voice actors. Like, they barely said 2 words. Like, the mutant that said the most lines besides the Turtle, Splinter, and Superfly would probably be Mondo Gecko. Because, you know, Paul Rudd's a comedic genius. If there's a joke, you make him say it, you know? But Bebop, Rocksteady, they barely said anything. They got Post Malone as Ray Fillet. He just sang his name, what, twice, 3 times, and that was it. Like, okay, what's your personality, guy? I know you like to sing, but what else is there to you? Leatherhead. They messed my boy up. First, there was a big controversy that Leatherhead is gonna be a woman. She only said 2 lines. What? Dude, come on, man. Leatherhead is one of my favorite characters. They barely said 2 lines, and they didn't really do anything that makes me go, yes, that is my favorite character from this movie. You kidding me? Come on. Oh, and there's going to be a connected series for Paramount, a 2-season series, but it's going to be about the Turtles going to high school, which is how the movie ends. The Turtles get exposed and they go to high school, which we will talk about later. But I was kind of hoping that the series would follow the villains. I think they might still do that, but I'm not 100% sure. Like, give me a bridge between the creatures getting mutated to the events of the movie. Like, make a series for all these villains, give them personality, give me a reason to like them. Because Leatherhead, whether it be from the 80s, 2000s, or 2020 12's series, there is a reason to like him. There's not much reasons to like this Leatherhead. Like, they don't... man. But, like I said earlier, the Turtles go to high school now, which is very new to me, because, yes, the Turtles do get exposed to the world here and there. Like, it happened in the 80s series, okay? There is even an episode where they get roasted by a TV personality. And April's always doing stories about them. Her boss is like J. Jonah Jameson saying the Turtles are a menace. so the Turtles interacting with civilization, that's not new. But the Turtles going to high school is new. I do remember an episode from the 80s cartoon where Donatello graduates college or gets a degree or something. But that's the closest thing we've seen. Isn't he still a teenager? He's passing college as a teenager? I mean, I've seen it happen. I've heard it happen. I think the youngest Harvard graduate was like 12. That's impressive. I think they found a little girl, 9 years old, autistic, and has a IQ higher than Einstein and Hawking combined. Like, wow, these kids are going to be smart. But I'm getting off track, I'm sorry. The Turtles have never really interacted in high school. So that's is very new, very interesting. I kind of want to see that. I want to see the Turtles take classes. And you know what's weird? They kind of teased it before even the movie came out. Because remember, they released like these ripped up pages with the Turtles, like had each of their names and little doodles on the side. You know, it was like, oh, they're taking classes with Splinter. Like, he's teaching them and they're taking notes. No, that's high school. They're taking notes in high school. They teased it all the way back then. Man, that's crazy. But yeah, I want to see the Turtles interact with different characters as themselves. This could be the perfect opportunity to introduce Casey Jones. Like, man, like I'm getting excited just thinking about it. If we can go back to the casting, who played? I know who played Baxter Stockman. I just want to make sure I pronounce his name right. Boy. Giancarlo Espinosa. I hope I pronounced his name right. He played Baxter Stockman, which I thought was excellent casting. Gus from Breaking Bad. Yes, please. Like, I think he would be amazing, Baxter Stockman. They killed him in the first minute. Why? And they were going to make Stockman as Superfly, because he does get mutated into a fly in other versions. So why the sudden change? Couldn't you do like an Incredible Hulk, Shazam type of situation where you got these two characters that become one, but they're played by two different actors? Like, couldn't you done that? But I don't know. Or just make Giancarlo Espinosa, I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing his name right, just make him the voice of Superfly. I mean, Ice Cube did a great job. But if you want to keep it connected, have the same actor for Stockman and Superfly, just have them the same. But I don't know, it's just a great acting choice, a great actor choice, and you just wasted it. Like, I don't get that. But while the other mutants kind of lacked as characters for me, there is another character I haven't really talked about yet, and that's the character of New York City. Because the people, they do see that the mutants exist, and sure, they were prejudiced at the beginning, but when they found out, oh, the Turtles are here to help us, they were more than willing to help them, which is, I thought was amazing. I was getting some Sam Raimi Spider-Man vibes, you know, where you mess with one of us, you mess with all of us. Like, I love that. The people of New York working with the mutants to stop Super Duper Fly. Like, I thought that was a phenomenal scene. And New York just feels alive. Like, you know how in the Batman 80s movies, Gotham just feels alive. You can just stare at that city, interact with these people forever because every single corner has a personality. And the fact that they did something similar with Mutant Mayhem, I thought that was great. So yes, despite my gripes, I did very much enjoy this movie. It's definitely in the top 5. I think it might be... It's under the Batman crossover in the 90s movie. And I don't know if it's better or worse than the Rise Netflix movie. I like it better than Turtles Forever, if that means anything to you. But I don't know. What did you all think of Mutant Mayhem? Did you like the changes that they made? Do you wish they stayed with something more connected to the comics or 80s cartoon? What are some of your nitpicks about the movie, and where does it rank on your Turtles list? I'm going to do a ranking eventually. I had to figure this out though. But you let me know in the comments down below, and I'll see you dudes later.